All right, welcome back to the channel, everybody. Jason Brown here. Thank you so much for stopping by. If you are a new viewer, I really appreciate you stopping by and checking me out. And if you are a returning viewer, truly thankful for your support. So today we're talking about all the expenses my wife and I cut to become debt-free. All right, here we go. So my wife and I got married. She had some student loan debt and some credit card debt, as well as a car loan. So that totaled about $60,000 of debt. So we wanted to work extremely hard to knock that debt out. The first couple years of our marriage, we wanted to become debt free. So these are some of the expenses that we cut. I came up with a list. It's not the entire list. It's just the ones that I remember making the most significant impact. So let's jump right into it. The first one, number one on the list, and these are in just random order. Number one, of course, is cutting the cable. Now, you see this a lot in the media. This whole cord cutting movement has been a trend for several years now. And what you have to be careful is you don't cut the cable and then go sign up for 5 streaming services, because then you're going to be paying more for that than you were for the cable in the beginning. So what you want to do is cut the cable and then find a cheaper way to watch TV. Now for us, for me personally, I was astonished at how much free content there was on a smart TV. We went and bought some smart TVs for our house, and they come preloaded with all these apps and free streaming services. And then another thing we did was we went out and bought an HD antenna, which you can hook up to your TV, and it gives you all the local over-the-air stations to the closest large city that you might live in. So we're in Atlanta, so we get all the Atlanta over-the-air broadcast stations, and there's about 70 of them. I was just expecting to get maybe 5 or 10 channels. There are so many more channels out there that you know about. And also those channels are coming in picture perfect HD quality, and you're getting them all for 100% free, of course, minus the cost of what you pay for the HD antenna. And those can range from anywhere from $25 to maybe a couple $100. There's different types. There's indoor and outdoor. So usually the outdoor ones are going to be mounted on a roof, and those might cost a little bit more than an indoor one that you could maybe mount onto a window or something like that. So that's something to research. Now for me personally, it didn't really make any sense for me to pay over $100 a month for 300 channels that I never watched. It just didn't really make any sense to me. I started thinking about the cable cost and how much it costs versus how much am I actually watching. So I would say I would sit down and look at all the channels that are on the cable service and realize that I'm not even watching 10 of these channels. I think I was watching like 7 channels, but I'm paying for 300 of them. So that's where there was a disconnect there. So it didn't really, make sense for me to pay that much for the cable. So that was the first one. Moving on to number 2. Number 2 is probably a lot of you can relate to, is the landline phone. So I had a landline phone for a long time in my house, and I didn't really realize why I was paying for it, because nobody ever used it. Nobody ever called me on the landline. The only phone calls I ever get, I would come home from work every day and my voicemail box would be full, and it would be all spam calls, telemarketers, the robocalls, all that. So it would be a little disappointing. I thought, people were calling me that I knew and were reaching out, and I would hit the play button, and it'd just be like, a scam call or something. So I was paying $50 a month for that, and I cut that out. So I was like, I have a cell phone now. We get good service where we live. There's no reason to pay for a landline that I don't use. So that was out. So the next thing, this is one that we all struggle with. This is number 3 on my list, and it's eating out, going to restaurants, eating out, lunch, dinner, whatever it may be. This is a big struggle for us all, because eating out is not just about the food, it's about the socialization, meeting your friends, meeting your family, and spending time with people that you really want to be with. So the thing is that eating out is very expensive. So for us, at the time, we were budgeting about $300 a month to eat out. And most of the times that we would eat out was over the weekends where we were on the go. Saturday and Sunday, we would usually eat out lunch and dinner. Just because we were always out and about and on the go and doing stuff, so we weren't really home. So it was more of a convenience factor, really. But we cut that out. We went cold turkey, and we just cut out the restaurants until we were able to pay off the debt. So that was about $300 a month that we saved. Now, vacations, that's the next one, number 4, vacations. So I guess the average, actually, I don't even think many Americans even take vacations anymore, because so many people leave so many vacation days left unused. You see articles like that all the time. But I would say, people would like to ideally take one vacation a year. Some people are able to take 2 or 3, but ideally, one is good. Now, average cost, probably going to be a couple $1,000s, travel expenses, hotel, rent-a-cars, if you're going to fly, if you're going to drive. And then, all the, incidentals. Usually when you go traveling, you're eating out every meal. So you got to pay for food. You got to pay for all your expenses, your incidentals, your entertainment, and your events that you might be going to. So all that's going to add up. So I just put down $2,000. That's just kind of a rough estimate of what we would have paid to go on one vacation per year. So that's $2,000 a year saved. So the next one, cell phone bill. Now, when my wife and I got married, we each had our own separate individual plans with AT&T, and we were paying, it was somewhere close to $100 a month each. I know mine was about $85 a month, and hers was probably in the same range, 80, 85, somewhere like that. And it was I just thought that's how much it cost. And, that was the average going rate. I never really questioned it or anything until someone said, hey, you need to get on a family plan. It's like, what's a family plan? So I looked into the family plan, got some of our family members together, got a group of us, I think about 5 of us went in and said, hey, give us the family rate. So we significantly cut our cell phone bill down from, it was something like, we were paying about $170 a month total for the 2 of us, we brought it down to $60 a month total. So we were each paying about $30 a piece a month. So that's a huge savings. About $110 a month we saved just by joining a family plan. And this was with AT&T. Now, of course, all the carriers offer a similar plan, so you can research that based on your carrier. So that's another one you can do. Now, the 6th one on my list, this is the last one on my list. Of course, there's many, many more. And you guys can comment down below of what I might be missing or what you've done to cut to save money as well. But the last one on my list is the grocery bill. This is one of the top expenses that we all have. The top 3 expenses that most people have are going to be food, groceries, eating out, transportation, your car, your travel, and then of course your housing, so mortgage, rent. So those are your top 3 expenses. So groceries being one of the top. So if you can figure out how to just look at your grocery bill, maybe save your receipts for a month, go over your grocery bill, go over your receipts, and figure out how much you're spending, and then figure out, hey, if I could just cut $20 to $25 a week for my grocery bill, that's significant. It might not seem like that much at a time. Hey, you're going to the grocery store once a week and you say you just cut out $25 at what you would have spent. But guess what? That's $100 a month, $1,200 a year. So it adds up real quick. So that's what we did. We were able to cut about $25 a week, which ended up being about $100 a month. So it adds up real quick. So from the list that I just provided, just those 6 items, so we'll go through them real quick. Cable, cut the cable, killed the landline phone, stopped eating out, went on a vacation ban, jumped on the family bill, the family cell phone plan, and then cut the grocery bill. Just those 6, we saved on average per year just under 10 grand. It actually, if you want the specific number, it's $9,920. So it's significant. When you think about all this stuff adds up. So what I like to always do, I like to project things out into 5 years increments. So I say, okay, well, if we do this for 1 year, we save about 10 grand. If we can do this for 5 years, that's about $50,000. Wow, I mean, that's significant. So, what can you do with that? What can you do with $50,000? You can think about that. for yourself. What could you do with it? How could that help you? You know, there's probably lots of things you could do. Maybe you need to buy a new car. Maybe you want to go back to school. Maybe you want to get further education or training. You know, anything like that. Maybe you want to start a small business or a side hustle. This is where the money can come from. So these are the things that we did, my wife and I did, to successfully pay off $60,000 of debt in just 2 years. So we did that in 2 years. Of course, we did so much more than that, but those are the highlights of some of the expenses that we cut. Just wanted to share those with you guys, and hopefully, you know, if you guys got any value out of that list, you know, please consider supporting me and my channel. Subscribe if you would like to support. And of course, I do videos like this all the time, money related stuff. I love talking about money. And so I decided to make a channel about it so people can hopefully learn from the mistakes that we make and, of course, the successes that we've had as well. So if you'd like to support me further, I've written a couple of books, money-related books. I also have a blog. And you can check out my website, which is yourmarginmatters.com. And then there's a couple related videos I've done to this. And you can check those out at the top of the screen right here and right here, just as the video ends. And those might help you out as well. So until next time, this is Jason Brown saying thanks so much for watching. And remember my favorite saying, it's not the amount of money you make, but the margin that matters the most. See you next time.